2020 felt like a year of first, big and small. It was a year spent learning how to do almost everything in a new way and finding creative solutions in the midst of a global pandemic. 2020 felt like a whole new, intimidating world to navigate for all of us. But in the midst of fear, we found renewed hope.
In the beginning, we started business as usual. We hosted 3 surgical teams who performed 174 surgeries and 67 dental treatments. But in the blink of an eye, everything changed. Within hours of our 114th mission leaving Guatemala, the airport was closed and the country shut down. The unfathomable had happened. An unprecedented worldwide pandemic was reshaping the whole world. For the first time in decades, we found ourselves in a compulsory pause as a nation and at the Moore Center.
Although we had to shut our doors during the month of April, our team knew we couldn't stop our mission. Even though we were seemingly stopped functioning, we had to find a way to keep going for the sake of our patients. Our mission is to bring hope and healing to Guatemala's most vulnerable, and they need us more than ever before. So we pivoted. We adapted every single one of our protocol to comply safety measures in this new COVID-19 reality. That meant obtaining travel permits in order to send nutritional supplements to our kids that could no longer travel to the hospital for their milk formula. It meant implementing a new telemedicine program so that 200 of our patients could still get quality healthcare. It meant adapting our internal and external communication methods so that we were always available to our staff and patient alike. And it meant starting new programs to meet the needs from the unprecedented food crisis that was created in Guatemala by the pandemic. In the midst of so much uncertainty, we wanted to be there in any way we could for our people. And by God's grace, we were able to do that.
Since our hospital couldn't accept patients, we reconnected to our humanitarian roots. We did everything in our power to provide hope through fighting hunger. By banding together and working nonstop, our little organization was able to provide over 100,000 meals to families who didn't have access to food, over 30,000 pounds of food and over 100,000 meals to food insecure families through our White Flag Survival Kit program all throughout Guatemala. That's over 30,000 pounds of food and 10,000 pounds of COVID-19 prevention cleaning supplies. In May, we received the incredible news that the Moore Center could open up their doors again. I wish you could have been there. The whole center was full with joyful noise again. Our kiddos from the nutritional program seeing their doctors again for a long time. Despite the progress we'd made, in June our staff received confirmation that our surgical teams could not still be able to travel to the center due to the pandemic raging in the USA and in Guatemala. This meant our children could not have their long-awaited surgery, and they were left waiting again. It was heartbreaking to understand this news, but out of despair came hope.
Guatemala health system always has been a stretched thing, and resources has always been scarce. Due to the added stress of COVID-19, it completely collapsed. As a result, the government had to cancel all medical services because there was simply no space in hospitals and no medical staff to help. Everyone was already stretched beyond their limits, and that's where we stepped in. The Moore Center staff were able to find new opportunities to meet a huge need that arose: pediatric clinic consults for children and their parents. The healthcare collapse left kids from far and wide who were not originally our patients with nowhere else to go. Despite the pandemic, our doctors and nurses at the Moore Center were able to see them and take care of their basic needs, providing healing and hope for so many during an incredibly difficult time. Yes, 2020 was indeed the year of so many firsts at the Moore Center. For the first time, we offer telemedicine services providing free of charge quality medical services to over 200 patients.
For the first time, we had to redesign our entire patient protocol in order to comply with COVID-19 prevention standards to still keep our patients and staff safe. It was also the first time we were able to start a relief campaign to help families affected by Tropical Storm Eta. We were able to get our team into the disaster areas to distribute critical supplies that got families affected through the months that followed. Our nutritional program delivered nutritional supplements to our patients' doorstep for the first time ever through collaboration with several organizations, even in the midst of a lockdown. And even though the pandemic isn't over, we've come to realize that 2020 was a perfect scenario to witness God's faithfulness with the organization.
Thank you for walking alongside us during what was truly one of the hardest years of our lives. We literally couldn't have continued changing children's lives and making a real difference for people here in Guatemala if it wasn't for your consistent support and generosity. As we look towards 2021, our staff are hopeful for the future. Already, our donors and medical teams are stepping up in a huge way by funding surgical procedures that will take place in 2021 for our patients who simply cannot wait any longer. Because of your care for our kids, our patients, and their families, have a renewed hope this new year. You have stepped in the gap, and we couldn't be more thankful to have donors and partners like you.
Whether you gave for the first time or the 100th time, God bless you. Thank you for being a part of bringing hope and healing to so many in 2020. We can't wait to see what the Lord has for 2021.